Hi, James. How are you today?
Fine.
Fine. How was your weekend?
Boring.
Did you do anything?
No.
Nothing?
No.
All weekend?
I mean, not really.
Okay. Well, how about Sunday? Can you tell me one thing that you did on Sunday?
Play video games.
Okay. Well, that's something. That's something. So today I wanted to use some of our time to go over your IEP because I had mentioned that we were going to do that last week. Because I know that you had been tested 2 years ago, but you never really saw your test results and nobody really talked to you about those. So I wanted to give you a little bit more information about that, so that maybe we could talk about, why you're getting the services here that you're getting, or how some of the things that you've been diagnosed with, or some of these things could affect your day-to-day life. Okay, so here is your IEP. Okay, and so at the top you can see here that it has your specific diagnoses. Okay, and so the first one is your specific learning disability. Okay, so that's why you receive some services in the Learning Network. Okay, so that's why you work with Miss King and you get some pull-out classes, and that's just to make sure that you're getting the supports you need in your classes. Okay? And now the second one. That one says emotional impairment. Do you know what that is?
I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of sounds pretty vague and nobody really knows what a specific emotional impairment is. But based on that test 2 years ago, they said that you had depression based on your specific responses to things. Has anyone ever told you that before?
No, not really.
No? Well, how does it feel to think that someone diagnosed you with depression?
I mean, if that's what they think.
If that's what they think. Do you think that you're depressed?
I don't know. I think I'm just bored.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that boredom. When you're bored, can you describe how you feel?
There's just nothing to do.
There's nothing to do?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm just bored.
That makes sense. So then, when you don't do anything, how does that feel in your body? What would you describe your body feels like?
I don't feel anything.
You don't feel anything? So, okay. Here's this little picture of this cycle that we've got here. Okay? Oftentimes we think that our thoughts affect our behaviors. Okay? So if you're thinking, oh, I'm really enjoying this, then you might be a little bit more enthusiastic about doing something. Okay? But if you're thinking something really negative and you're not liking something, then maybe your behavior is going to reflect that. Okay? So if you're thinking that you're really bored, how do you think you're going to act?
I don't do anything.
Okay. You don't do anything. So then, what's your bodily sensation associated with that? So, what's going on in your body? How's your body feeling? Here are a couple options for you to choose from, since that's kind of a weird description, bodily sensation.
Maybe it feels dull.
Dull? That's a good description. Yeah. So, if your body feels dull, then what do you think your emotions are, your feelings are?
I think I'm still just bored.
You're bored? Okay. When you're bored, do you feel any of these things?
Maybe I feel hopeless.
Hopeless? That sounds like a good description too. So when you're hopeless, what do?
I don't do anything.
Right. So then you get back into this cycle. So if you feel this emotion, then you go back to not doing anything and feel bored again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it becomes this circle of our thoughts that lead to behaviors, that lead to feelings and emotions that lead to those same thoughts. And once you get stuck in this cycle, it's really hard to get out. Do you feel that it's hard to get out of it?
Yeah, I guess so. Since I've always felt like this.
You've always felt like this? Can you think of really any times where you felt happy? Not really. So that makes a lot of sense though, because you haven't really ever talked to anyone about being in this cycle, and you haven't really gotten the help you need to get out of it. Because there are a lot of things that we can do together and we can work on to try to help you break this cycle. Okay, but when you're stuck in it on your own and you just keep thinking these same thoughts and acting in the same way, it's really hard for you on your own to get out of it. Okay, and that's oftentimes what happens when people are depressed, is that it's hard for them to snap out of this feeling on their own. Okay? But it doesn't mean that it's hopeless, because the really great thing about it is that once you can identify that this is how you're feeling, which is what you're doing, and once you can start talking about it, then it becomes easier to be able to break the cycle. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that talking about it is something that we can work on together?
Yeah.
Yeah?
If it won't be stuck anymore.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to work towards, okay? So we'll do some things, because there are a lot of things that could help us try to find things that maybe make you a little happier, okay? So right now, this boredom, it's affecting you in lots of areas of your life, right? You're bored at home. Are you bored at school?
Yeah.
So is there any time you don't feel bored?
No.
Not really? Okay, so when you're bored at home, we know that maybe you play video games. Do you ever talk to people?
I mean, like, about what?
Anything. Like, do you talk to your parents when you're home?
A little.
A little bit. And then, do you ever see friends outside of school? No.
I don't really have any friends.
Okay. What about at school? I see you talking to a lot of people. Do you like talking to them? Yeah? What about in classes? What do you do in classes?
I don't know. I think I'm just bored in class, so I don't really do anything in class.
Okay. Well, all of those things are descriptions of things that can happen when you're feeling this boredom or depression. Okay? So, you feeling not motivated to engage in class is really common. Okay? And it's not because you're incapable of doing the work. It's not because the work is too challenging. It could very well be because these feelings really make you feel unmotivated. Okay? So, really common symptoms of someone who is stuck in this cycle are negative thinking. You can't do it or you don't want to. Social withdrawal, meaning you don't really spend a lot of time with other people because you feel more comfortable, or that it's easier just to not. Irritability, so if you get really annoyed with things quickly. Or lack of interest in activities that you might have liked before or that you know you like doing. Okay, so can you think of any activities that you might like doing but that you're not doing right now?
I like to play basketball.
Okay, that's a great example. Okay, so you know you like playing basketball, and I've heard you talk about it before. Why aren't you playing right now?
Because I can't.
How come?
I don't want to.
You don't want to? Do you think that if you were on a team and had the opportunity to play that you might like to? Yeah? Okay, so that is one example of something that we can work to change. Find a positive activity for you that's going to give you something that you enjoy doing in your life. Okay? So little things like that. We're going to work together to find little changes that you can make to bring some positivity and enjoyment into your life. Okay? And we'll also work on a lot of other things that we can do together to help with the negative thinking or getting stuck in the cycle that can maybe help with your emotions and your state of mind, so that maybe you become more apt to engage in things. Not just basketball, but also maybe school or with friends and things like that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this is just the start, and we'll talk more about it. But it's really important that we can continue to talk about your feelings. So I'm really happy that that's something that you think that you can work on with me.